All right, we're at part 4 of the iceberg. I'm very excited to get into this. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get right into it. Scav bosses are funded by the UN. So, since the scav bosses are aggressive towards both factions and scavs, depending on your level, it's a theory that the UN pays them to clear out both factions to resolve the conflict sooner. Tarkov is based on real events. So the devs are actually trying to spread awareness of an event that's currently happening in Tarkov, and they're using the game to do that. But due to Russia's high censorship, they have to tread very lightly and not expose too much at once. So since it's so dangerous to talk out against the government in Russia, they have to be really careful about what they say and how they say it. No RNG. In every single raid, the loot is pre-placed. So someone actively goes into the raid and places all the loot for you before every single raid starts. Nikita Master Key. Nikita has a key that can open every single door inside of Tarkov. Cultists were in the game all along. So cultists were actually in the game since the very beginning, but they didn't allow themselves to be seen until recently. Terror Group funds placement of loot. So Terror Group actually pays people to place loot around Tarkov for you to find. This is so that they can study your behavior. So this might explain places like Giving Tree, or why sometimes stashes aren't in a place that they were before. Maybe the person they paid didn't have time, or they died before they were actually able to place the loot. This would tie back into the theory that Terror Group's actually watching and observing everything, so they place loot like syringes and other items like guns and weapons, food and things like that, so they can have more research and more studying to do. So now we are about to start getting into some of the really weird stuff. Playing in past lobbies. So you will play through a lobby and you will take a predetermined route. And through that route, you will coincidentally, every single time, miss a future and past version of yourself that's playing in the same lobby that's taking a different path as you. But since they're taking a different path, it's predetermined that you two will never meet. So in those raids where you don't hear a single thing, you don't hear a shot, you don't see another person, it's completely possible that you are in a raid completely full of future and past versions of yourself that you will never see. BSG slave workers. Before the big updates, the BSG employees are pretty much whipped into shape and just work hard hours to try to get out the update. But if this post by Nikita is anything to go off of, the slaves seem like they are treated pretty well. Labs is hell. Due to how many cheaters, meta slaves, sweats, and streamers play on labs, it's a punishment. But just like hell, labs is a choice. Scav bosses are funded by Terror Group. So Sturman and his boys actually could be working or could have worked for Terror Group. One piece of evidence is the fact that you can find Terror Group cards in Sturman's SUVs. Tagil is constantly found with L1 injectors, so either Terror Group is using him as an experiment to see how the injectors infect him, or they're using him as a way to eliminate us, or both. Killa uses a Terror Group safe room in the parking garage on Interchange. So there's 3 possibilities. He either found this room on accident, killed someone for the information, or Terror Group gave him access to the room so he can better carry out his responsibilities of killing scavs and PMCs. The goons are former USECs, so they definitely used to work for Terror Group, but whether they do now, that's up for debate, since they do kill a lot of USECs. So in the Chronicles of Rise, Season 2, Chapter 3, you can actually see that Sanitar is hanging around with Gluhar, Kaban, and Kalante, and we know that Sanitar was a Terror Group employee. So it wouldn't be out of the realm possibility that the other 3 have connections to Terror Group, since Sanitar definitely does. Srirachi is the lapdog of Lightkeeper, and Lightkeeper hates Gluhar since Gluhar constantly works against him. But Lightkeeper does have higher-ups that he calls they, and it is speculated in the community that these higher-ups are Terror Group higher-ups, or Terror Group elites. I believe Partisan has no connection whatsoever to Terror Group. He does not interact with any other scav bosses or traitors besides Jaeger. He seems to only go after those who he believes are honorless. The Cultist Priest. The cultists may be former volunteers or forced test subjects. The backing I have to this is that the fact that they use stimulants to lower their body temperature so they can't be seen on thermals. Srirachi also has 2 cultist guards that follow him, so another tie to Terror Group. The bosses are the deadly sins. Reshala is greed. He is called the Deal Maker and has a golden gun. Killa is wrath with 0 followers, and he is aggressive towards scavs and PMCs. Gluhar is pride. With his lack of mask, he seems to want to show off his face and body. Sanitar is lust. He is completely addicted to his stimulants. Sturman is sloth. All he does is sit around lumberyard and he does not move. Kaban is gluttony. Yeah. Tagilla is envy. Jaeger says, and I quote, "He always tried to follow in his brother's steps, wanted to surpass him in everything. They say he even borrowed the helmet idea from his brother." Now, obviously, this was made before a few of the bosses were added, so not everyone's here. No AI scav theory. There is no such thing as an AI scav. Every single scav in-game is controlled by a player, but most of us suck, so they just call us bots. 13th map. So as of right now, we have 12 maps in the game. This is including Terminal, even though it's not officially in yet. Streets is about to be split into 2 maps, and that will give us 13. So that will be the 13 maps. UN kills all those who escape from Tarkov to stop rumors/outrage. The UN has set up roadblocks all around Tarkov, and if you're able to get around the roadblock, you get shot by a sniper. These are UN's ways of making sure no one leaves. Climbable ladders. This is another joke about how you find ladders all over the place in Tarkov, yet you are not able to climb any of them. But what if there is a ladder you can climb that just has not been found yet? And that was part 4 of the iceberg. Part 5 will be coming out next week, and I appreciate you guys so much for watching. And if you really enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave it a like. And if you really, really enjoyed the video, go ahead and subscribe so you can see more of my content. Thank you so much, and have an excellent rest of your day.